Beautiful.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches, not to be confused with Books and...
Whopper!
I knew it was fucking coming. Oh, no, stop.
Have it your way.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have...
Whopper!
No. Say your name.
BK.
Okay, that's Erica, and... I think I quit. And Maria.
Welcome to the BK Lounge.
We are not sponsored by Burger King.
This isn't
The
even...
Bridge Kingdom.
Okay, chill.
Oh, God.
This is a book podcast. We swear, we spoil, and we talk about sex. We're going to spoil this book, although this is a, young adult? No sex?
Yeah, technically.
There is sex in it.
There is, but
it's technically young adult.
not, explicit.
It's not explicit.
If
It's
you...
the verbiage of the words matter
Sure.
What do you mean?
in YA for sex. There can be sex in YA. It just
Can
the
there?
words.
I thought it was all fade to black.
No.
Really?
YA does not need to, you can still have those things. It's just, the words.
Like what? Give an example.
You can't say,
Well, don't say it, because... Well, no, go ahead, say it.
you can't say any of the, pieces, the parts. The end of, the sex in this book is literally, his tongue slid inside me. It's like...
But I still feel like that's more adult than... any of the young adults that I would read back in the day didn't have any. It would all fade to black. It'd be I really wanted it, but it was a dance around it.
Am I wrong?
Check
I have
and
no
make
idea.
sure.
I think you're on something.
Yeah, because the book that we're talking about today is The Bridge Kingdom,
BK Lounge.
#1 by...
Danielle L. Jensen.
Okay, so we're doing the first book, which I did not know it was a series, so getting to the end of this book really fucking threw me for a loop, let me tell you, because I was like, there's 5 pages left, why have we not wrapped this up? So yes, Zena's here and bopping the mic.
Zena girl.
So if you haven't read The Bridge Kingdom, be prepared that it's a series.
A lot of people have read this book.
Really?
Yeah, I think
it's a
really
very
well
popular
known.
book.
It's on Kindle Unlimited. I had never heard of it, so...
Really?
I
Yeah.
had bought it. I had it the physical copy for over a year because I was gonna read it. But
Is
then
this old?
It came out in 2021, I think.
Oh,
Or
so not that.
2020.
Not
it's
that
not
old.
that old at all.
Okay, interesting. I don't know why.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's par for the course. So The Bridge Kingdom, did you
The BK
confirm
Lounge.
that it was young adult?
I'm working on it.
Waiting to sign in and
New adult.
Told
Get
you.
the fuck outta
Fucking
here.
told you, dude.
New adult.
I really thought it was YA.
The only thing that
I thought so too. I am surprised here.
made it seem
that-
YA was the
The girl
gestures.
is so fucking immature.
Well, that too. Kind of. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right, who wants to do the 60-second?
She always gets
Erica?
I feel like it should be Erica because
I agree.
Erica was talking about it on our socials for
I
a while.
agree.
People
I
wanted her to read it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Erica should do it. I know I could do it, but
I
Erica
can
should
do
do
it.
it.
The problem with
I
Erica
can do it
doing
with the
60 seconds is it doesn't set us up for success. It purely sets us up to fail.
Which
she'll-
is the journey we like to be on.
totally, but you know how we get all those complaints about how we're all
Not a
over the
lot of
place?
them.
It's me. It's me.
It's mostly
It's
been that
I.
many
No,
I'm the
it's-
problem. It's me.
no, it's us.
Don't.
But when you do the 60 seconds is what I'm saying is it's a little bit more chaotic, which
But I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're all on the same
It's
page.
good for my mental
maybe
health.
fuck
everybody else.
Maybe this is the week
This is the week what?
that I do better.
No, it's not. Okay, I'm opening the clock app. Is that the
Clock app.
Erica, are you ready? Do you remember anybody's names?
Oh, she's done. She's fucked.
Laura and Arden.
Arden?
Aaron.
Aaron. I've been calling him Aaron.
It's Aaron.
Is it really?
I'm
Are we sure?
pretty
People listening. AREN. We sure that's not Aaron?
It's Aaron, according to my audiobook.
The
that I listened to.
audiobook.
Oh, I read it.
The audiobook.
Interesting that I read the book.
I
and
did
y'all
both.
Oh,
I did
okay,
both. I did
okay.
audio and physical.
I actually loved reading it so much more because I feel like I actually
Digested
got
it?
everything.
I-
I think that's my problem. I
think
gotta stop listening.
We have to get into this, but I decided I don't like listening to fantasy.
Okay, I think that you
That's
just hit the nail on the head.
1000%.
Yeah, because you
1000%.
can't really.
Well, no, I make up names for
Yeah.
what things sound like,
Yep.
and then they just are that. And when I don't have a visual on it, I don't know what that the noise of that word doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's kind of how I was.
know what I mean?
With these not states, whatever we want to call them, like places, like not Amaranth. That's like,
I had
like
no fucking. They all sounded the same.
Yeah, there's 2 of them that sounded exactly the same. Her place where she was from, and then the one that they were.
Maradrina and Ithacana.
Yeah, no, not Ithacana. It was Maradrina.
Arendelle.
Arendelle.
Yeah.
Was it Arendelle?
Mm-hmm.
There was another, not Arendelle, not the E one. There was another one where they were fighting the ships in the beginning.
Oh fuck! I know
Those
they all
2
sounded
names
the same.
sounded exactly the same. So I was like, are we talking about her where she's from, or the either way?
The
Let's
V, I think.
maybe we'll just get into it real quick, and then we'll bitch about it after.
All right.
Erica, I do want to preface this by saying I loved this book. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
That's all that matters.
All right.
Okay.
Erica,
I liked it.
here we go. If you're new to this podcast, we do this thing where we attempt to explain the entire plot summary of a book in 60 seconds or less. This week, our lovely Erica is going to do the Bridge Kingdom, or as she calls it, Burger Kingdom. Here we go, Erica. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Laura is one of 13. I have no idea how many sisters.
12.
13, 12, whatever. Her dad makes them all assassins, and like basically they all have to win their place as the princess to get married off into like whatever deal he fucking made with some other guy that owns a bridge. And that is literally what happened.
We didn't say anything.
We didn't say anything.
So then whatever, Laura wins by some fucking schemy ways, and she gets married off to this dude. They fall in love. The bridge is apparently
seconds.
like the equivalent of like the Black Sea in like the Ukraine. It just has every shipping port, everything, right? So they control all of like the import exports. So it's like really
15
important.
seconds,
It's really
Erica.
important to have the bridge, and she's there as a spy to try to take them down because she thinks she's been told her whole life that they're terrible, but they're really
5.
not.
we are at chapter 2.
4.
And they fall in love, and then the typical YA shit where they think that.
Yeah, you're way over.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over. Oh God. Okay.
So not any better.
I think I did good.
I think she covered chapter 1 and 2 great.
She's
There's not much else that happened. They fucking get fucked and then they go home.
The denial every time she does one of these after, where she's like, she could tell you the entire wrong book, the entire wrong plot. I think I did great. No, Erica, you did really fucking bad.
I think it did. I think I covered a lot.
I don't even know where to start.
I covered a lot.
No, you didn't.
You covered the first 2 chapters.
You
like
covered the first 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Um.
Let's start with the bridge. What is it? Why is this called the Bridge Kingdom? Like, what is it about this fucking bridge?
I think I hit the nail
What
on
are
the
you
head.
sniffing?
It's like
What are you
literally
so
like the Black
obsessed
Sea.
Well, yeah, but like,
Because it's like it controls all of the import export. Like the bridge is important to have because it's like the.
So the way it's set up, I guess the ocean around this bridge is very tumultuous. So to go around it would be more of a suicide mission.
Apparently, there's fucking sharks
Yeah, man-eating sharks. that have been
Man-eating sharks
trained
that
like
are
Dr. Evil. So
with lasers on their head.
lasers on their head. So this bridge.
it's so ridiculous.
Might as well have put fucking lasers on these sharks. That's how
true.
fucking silly it was.
Oh, by the way, there wasn't lasers on
There
the sharks.
should have been.
If there were, that would have been cool.
No.
It would have been cool. Yes, I agree
Little
with that statement.
homage to.
So the bridge is controlled by Ithacana, right?
Ithacana has been sort of like a neutral country this entire time.
Am I the only one that kept thinking of Ithaca?
I was thinking of Ithaca too. I kept saying, well, that's kind of how I read it.
What's Ithaca?
The Ithaca, New York?
Like Ithaca, like
The
the
college?
the place that you go to learn.
No,
Ithaca?
I've never heard of it.
Oh,
It's a really big TV school.
yeah. But I was calling it Ithaca in my head the entire time. So.
Oh, well.
But I don't think it was
Anyway.
because of that. But anyway, so Ithacana is like they control the bridge.
Mhm.
They run everything that goes through. So they're the only ones that can really export and import stuff.
They are the only ones that allow you to import, export anything.
Yeah.
So they've had a long-standing rivalry with Maradrina, which is Lara's father's kingdom. And they have a 15-year treaty at the moment where they just cease fire, stop fighting. And part of this treaty is to sell off one of the daughters, right?
Right.
The king of Maradrina has decided that he's going to just destroy Ithacana from the inside. So he's trained his 12 kids, 12 daughters, brainwashed them since birth to be assassins. So that
Which smart move or what?
sure,
What do you think?
a very long game. That
The weird
Like
part
there
was
had to
like,
be easier ways to do this.
yeah, I'm sure.
the weird part to me was that they was that he was gonna kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was
I was very confused with the start
when
of this
we
book.
started this book.
I loved it.
I thought it was
I
great.
was
thought it
just
was
so
fun.
confused. I
thought
loved
it was
too,
really
but I was
fun.
confused.
But I was like, what? Why?
Maria, walk me through how the book opens and what actually happened.
The book opens with Lara, our main character. She is at this dinner table with her other sibling, her other sisters, and she knows what's coming. And basically, all of a sudden, all of her sisters just drop face first into their food. She's quote unquote poisoned them. And she goes to her father and she goes, I know you weren't going to choose me to be the one to go into Ithacana, but I'm the strongest. You think that my sister, Mare, whatever her name is, you think she's the strongest? She's not. I'm ruthless. You need someone who's ruthless to go in there and do your bidding. And so essentially what she did was fake her sister's death so they can all be free.
Yeah, they have a lot of not poison, but they have a lot of drugs.
Yeah, she's very good at drugs and like poison and stuff like that. So she does that. Her father, so nothing leaks, basically kills anyone who knows of the plot.
Yeah.
Down to even the person who practically raised Lara and taught her
Like
everything
the whole
she knows.
all the staff.
Everybody dead.
In the castle.
That was a really cool open.
I thought
it
it
was
was
really
great.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
felt like
why.
it felt like a Red Wedding style setup, which I really
It felt
enjoyed.
like Kill Bill, kind of.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yep.
It gave
It
me
was
Kill
great.
Bill,
I
like
could see that.
Quentin Tarantino vibes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But you guys haven't read the second book.
Google.
The second book.
Don't spoil it because I'm going to.
The
read
second book is such a fucking. I like the whole book. I was ready for the sisters to come back.
Yeah.
And I was like, when is this like gonna flip around? And it doesn't flip around till the second book, which is fine. But the way that they do it is so fucking cool.
That's
like,
I'm
I
excited.
love it.
Yeah.
I
So
love the twist.
essentially, Lara gets sent into Ithacana. She has to find out all of its secrets, mainly the secrets of the bridge and how to take it from the inside.
She gets sent off by
basically.
being married off to the king, who is Aaron, who's young,
Aaron.
right?
He's
To
also
be a-
young.
to
He's
be a
in his-
king?
I think I would
Like
consider him
22?
in his 30s. Is he? He's 22.
She's 22.
She's 19.
No, she's 22. She said they
Oh.
talk about how she's old enough to like drink and stuff. She's 22, I think.
Whatever. They're young.
Yeah.
Youngish. I put him at like 30 in my head.
Okay.
Oh, the Aaron?
Yeah.
Or
Like
Aaron?
'Cause he's pretty young.
25 to 30. His parents had just died a couple years prior, so now he's a new king.
So he's being married off to Lara and
To basically keep the peace between
Do you
both,
feel like
but
they
no one
fell in
trusts
love
her.
really quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the switch between hating and loving was very fast.
I think my biggest gripe with the book was his character because he didn't give me much. Like he was kind of like sus at first, which makes sense. He was like, I only like strong women, but also I don't want her to be a spy. But like I didn't get anything out of him. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel any sort of way for him.
He's just like a good guy.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. Like I knew he was gonna be good, but like when I think of like Sarah J. Maas as like the thorn of whatever, and I think of I forget the other guy, not Tamlin, obviously.
Reese.
The other Reese. When I think of Reese, I'm like there was so much more like development there, and then when you found out he was actually good and doing for the good of his people, like that was a similar plot to what Aaron was, but I got more out of Reese than I did out of Aaron, I guess.
Well, people online fucking hate Reese because they're like, he was manipulative and he did this, that, and
that's
the other
true.
thing. And it's like, I know, but then you get a guy like Aaron.
I
Aaron.
Whatever
I'm
you
having a
wanna
hard
call
Say
time
what
with
you
this.
want to say.
I'm calling him Aaron.
You get a guy like him, and it's like he falls flat.
Right.
So it's like, which do you want? Do you want an
Exactly.
interesting character
Exactly.
that kind of does some fucked up shit, but is like ultimately a good guy, or do you want a guy that's like fucking American cheese?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
also
It's
then I
good.
get-
It's great. I love it on a sandwich. I'm not eating it
But
plain.
then I get annoyed at the whole thing of
You're
like,
right.
then don't tell me you like morally great characters if you're not going to handle what they do with
I
morally
love
gray.
morally
Oh,
great
man.
characters. I live
Man,
for it.
people be pissing
Humans are
me
flawed.
off online.
Yeah, that's what. Just don't read it.
I know.
It's easier that way.
That's my life.
Um,
So Laura goes in and she's starting to learn things. She learns that this kingdom is constantly under attack. They are what's called war tides. Basically, the seas around it become so inhabitable that they go for a couple months' time where no one's able to even land and attack them. But they're constantly under attack because people want control of this bridge.
the bridge confused
Nobody.
me.
It's like impenetrable.
I had to look at the map.
Was the bridge a tunnel?
Basically, it's like a tunnel. And the way think of Ithacana like a bunch of islands.
Yeah.
Like Hawaii in a way,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
And through those there's different like bridges that gets through all of it.
I got you.
And
Okay.
it's like underground and so that's how I
It was
envisioned-
underground?
That's how I envisioned it.
I
because
pictured it.
He
like,
said like they
high.
went up a lot.
Yeah, but then they were like on top of it and they were swinging
I don't
down.
know. It wasn't.
So I
well
pictured it
scripted.
like I pictured a covered bridge, like a giant, like think of Vermont.
I
covered
pictured like an
bridge.
underground sort of like the
That's
subway
interesting.
system, like
That's
all
interesting.
concrete and like there's
Yeah.
different sides out of.
It's so
Like,
cool how we
there's
can
like
all.
trapdoors and stuff. So
Yeah.
I felt something very industrial is what I thought of.
It's cool how we all
I
picture different
pictured
things.
like the, you know how the Tappan Zee Bridge is like two layers.
Yeah, I pictured that too.
like
Mhm.
that. But if the Tappan Zee Bridge was surrounded by like rocks,
Yes.
Yeah,
and then
that's
half
a great
of
way
it,
of
and then
saying it.
half
Yeah.
of it was underwater.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's like got like multi-levels,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's like still in nature kind of, and then
Mhm.
like they kind of like built something within nature.
I think that's
thought
the
that was
best
what
way to
that's-
describe it.
I thought
Yeah.
that was very neat. I thought the world building was really well done. I
Yeah.
thought
Yes, it was
the
a little boring.
castle was
A little
cool.
boring.
I thought it was really neat.
There's
little
a
boring.
good but boring.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was
I
great.
slow. It was
I
slow.
think it
Yeah.
slowed us down because so Ithaca itself is like a jungle.
Yeah,
all of
I-
it's
I-
like
I love
it's
that.
all jungle. There's snakes everywhere.
Mhm.
But I do
think it's
feel
worth
like
it.
I do think it slowed us down on the plot progression.
I think it was worth.
I love that.
I think you can only pick sometimes one, right? In certain cases, and I think this was worth it being slow. Throne of Glass is another one that kind of was slow, and you have to be slow to go fast. The Game of Thrones series also something where it's like you're building the world.
Yeah.
It's worth it to go slow to go fast.
It's slow where I want it to be slow.
Yeah, there's times where slowness is not like detrimental,
Mm-hmm.
and there's times when slowness is just like I want to fucking put this book down.
And I do think it had a good balance
City.
between the world building and the relationship building between
Yeah.
them.
Yep, I agree.
Because I feel like sometimes in these things where you have that world building, it goes to the wayside to build up this
Mhm.
like enemies to lovers type.
To me, this is
thing.
not a fantasy romance though.
No, but it
What is
has
the
it
romance.
there.
The romance is a subplot.
Yeah, I agree. That's
But I
why I
think
like
the
it.
way-
For it to
the
be a
way-
fantasy romance, it needs to be the main.
The way I saw
of the main
this
plot.
marketed to me online was I was sent to kill you, I fell in love with you instead.
Mm.
So when I
Yeah.
first bought this book, I thought it was romance first.
I didn't know
Yeah.
shit about it. I didn't even
Yeah.
read the summary, nothing. I just dove in.
Well, no, this is my problem with all fan art. I think fan art is the best way to sell your book, and for like online and stuff. But it's such a fucking lie. Like
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
many fan arts that like depict these things and these emotion. And the fan art, the artists are great, but they're like depicting things that aren't there.
Right,
Like
right.
it's not that this like crazy love interest.
It's like
is not
fan fiction.
It's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
They're creating that to like pull you
Mhm.
into it. And like I would have loved a picture of the bridge. Like that
Yeah,
would have been cool.
same.
You know what I mean? Like I don't
Same.
need the picture of them.
Yeah, but
like,
they're not thinking about that.
Yeah.
but I think the bridge is cool.
They're-
I don't know.
they're-
Give me a picture of the sharks.
Aaron and Laura. So Laura is doing her spy stuff right away.
No one trusts her. From
Nobody
the start.
trusts her, and they shouldn't. And she even says that a couple times in her head. She's like, "Yeah, they're right not to trust me." And then she meets his grandmother, who is a character that I love.
I thought she was great. I thought they would have. I
I love a like angry like
old woman.
Me
old
too.
woman in a book.
I love a good angry old woman, and that's what she was. She was this angry old woman living in the woods,
It
refuses to leave.
always hits. It
Yeah.
always fucking hits.
She's
Yep.
a healer.
and she was a spy back in the day, so she
So she knows
sees
exactly what's
right
Like,
through
recognize
Laura.
right,
yeah,
like-
which I really enjoyed, and he basically left her with her grandmother for a while he went out to war. But I forget how that, like, wasn't there a moment where she like poisoned the grandma? And
So
she was, like,
basically, she
shitting?
wants to go do some reconnaissance, but she's like,
Yes.
they're gonna see me.
This was fun. This
escape.
whole spot.
So she, the grandmother is like, here, feed these rats to my snakes. And she's like, I could never touch a rat, you know, trying to pretend that she's this dainty princess. Meanwhile, she basically laces something with some kind of laxative and puts the grandma in the outhouse for hours on end, just shitting herself. And in that process,
so mad if somebody did
she
that to me.
heads out. She heads out and does like her reconnaissance and like spying and
Wait.
shit like that.
You can cut this out if you don't want me to talk about this.
Go.
Didn't your grandma give you a laxative?
I will.
once?
Yes, I will not cut that out. I to this day I don't trust my grandmother.
She give you a fucking
So I think I was 8 or 9, right? We were living, and she came up to me. This is the one you trust. Fucking.
She gave you a fucking
She
laxative?
came up to me. She came up to me. He's like, my nickname's Chabby. He's like, Chabby, here, have this piece of chocolate. I was like, oh my god, I love chocolate. You give me chocolate, it's my best day ever. So I'm so happy, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have this chocolate. Yum yum yum. And then that night, I got up 700 times to like just go shit. I was shitting myself all night, and the next morning I wake up and I find out, oh yeah, I gave you a laxative, and I'm like, for what? Why?
There was no reason.
There was no. My grandma's always been this kind of person that she's like, she used to give me coconut oil to make me eat more. It's Dominican shit.
Was she trying to clean you out?
I think she was trying to clean me out.
That's so funny.
But I'm just like, why?
So did you have like flashbacks when you were reading this, where you're like, oh god?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm having flashbacks. Thank you so
I'm
much.
so sorry. I thought of that though.
But I tell her to this day, I'm like, you know what you did to me.
So funny. That's so funny. So it worked out great because the grandma was in the bathroom like pooping her pants the entire time, and then when she ran out to go do, you know, her whatever the word you said, reconnaissance. I like that word. She was like, you know, surveying the bridge. She ended up hearing that the guys were coming back to the house, so she had to get back before them, and that was really fun, where they were like kind of like racing in the woods to get back so she wouldn't get caught. And when she gets back, they see her in the woods, and they're like, why are you in the woods? And she was like, well, my stomach was hurting and I really had to use the bathroom, but it was taken by your grandma. So smart.
It was smart.
So
smart.
I like stuff like that in writing, because it's like the author had to think of these little, you know,
just
nuances.
like a little better of an excuse than like, well, I
came out for some air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like sleep. I love when things work, when they like tie together,
when they make sense.
So that was like the first moment where I was like, oh, this is really fun. You know, she almost got caught.
I thought it was well written.
I thought it
was
I
very
think
well
like
written.
things like those small things like that make a book infinitely better.
Yeah,
where
it
you're
was
not,
very
where you
well
don't
written.
stop and you go, okay, like.
There was only two times that I did that, and that was at the vulgar gestures.
There's
Oh,
always
well,
a vocal gesture.
When
Again,
they say
that's why I
vulgar.
thought it was.
That's
I
what I was
thought
gonna
it was
say.
YA.
That's what I was gonna say. The only reason I believed you when you said it was YA was because of those two moments where I was like, just say you're fucking giving him the finger. What? Why do we have to say vulgar gesture?
So I think in this case, it's being set in a time that's not modern.
Yeah, like, do they
True,
have middle
yeah.
fingers?
That's
Is
a
it
good
not
point.
It's like
That's what I've always wondered. Is it just not a middle finger?
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it could be.
this.
It could be the fucking It could be anything.
It's true.
Yeah,
Fungul,
that too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is the like? I think that's a valid, and I've always thought this. Like, I understand, or the joke online has always been vulgar. You've noticed I've never made that joke because I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get that joke. Like, I feel
Wait,
very.
what's the joke?
Well, because
No, like everyone online is like the vulgar gesture, and it's like, well, what? What are they speaking English? Because a lot of these fantasies, they're not speaking English. They're just
True, yeah.
speaking English in the book.
And you're also in a whole different
read.
world that's not your own. So
You're in a
Yeah.
different
their vulgar
world.
is not the same as yours.
All right, you're making good points.
Vulgar gesture could be we just did 4 vulgar gestures.
It would
that
be
are not-
cool though to make one up then. Like,
Yeah.
give me something. Like, give me something to imagine. Then it puts me in that world even more if you give me something, like a signal that they make or
Yeah.
something.
I think it.
But,
Yeah, I think we need a step further on the vulgar
Yes.
gesture.
It's like the releasing the breath, which we didn't get in this book. Thank God. No releasing the breaths that they didn't know that they were
Yeah.
It
holding.
wasn't a thing.
So that's good news.
Yeah.
We're making
I
progress.
didn't realize that.
Oh, there is one thing I wanted to bring up. They had a draft in the beginning, right? There was some like type of draft for the women, like they were drafting people into the war.
Oh, she found out that women could be part of the war
Yeah,
from
the
Ithaca.
warriors.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
drafted women, and I
Yeah.
was like, how fucking cool. And then
Yeah.
then they were like, yeah, and we kill people who defect, and I was like, that seems like
We took a couple steps
You
forward.
very well.
So how does this book like
Feels progressive.
turn Maria when she kind of starts to?
So she starts seeing Arn and his people and what he does for them and how they're constantly under war, and he's just like, this is not what I was told. She was told that there are ruthless, evil people that are a problem in society.
She got a letter that was that she coded from her father saying our people are starving because of Ithaca. They're not letting in all these things. So she thinks that like Ithaca is so bad because all of these lies that her father
Despite
has been
getting
feeding
married to him, the people are still not getting what they were promised, which is like better
Right.
goods and stuff. It turns out the father, Silas, has been actually using the money and the bridge to just import metal and iron and weapons, and not actually feeding his people. So
He's
at
the bad
one point,
guy.
he is the
he's
bad guy.
the bad
which
guy.
we knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
that he was
At
gonna be
one
bad.
point, Aaron decides, okay, I'm going to show you that you're wrong. You're not. It's not what you think it is. and they all go on a ship. It's like their own little private pirate ship in a way, and infiltrate Maradrina, pretending they're a merchant ship when they're not.
Yeah.
Apparently, Arn's done this for a long time, where he's pretending he's some kind of
he's got
merchant.
bitches in the port.
We forgot to mention at the beginning, she did manage to get a letter sent out to her dad of all of the secrets of the bridge, of everything.
No, she didn't manage to send it.
She managed to write it down in this invisible
This was
ink.
the most infuriating fucking.
I know.
Fucking hated it.
I
I
know.
hated the letters. The letters is like one of my least favorite things because I knew it was gonna come back.
Yeah, of
Lara was given invisible ink, and
It's
she
like,
on
come
the
the
back.
fuck
But
on.
I thought this was interesting that instead of just writing it on one piece of paper, she wrote it on all of them. So
Yeah.
every piece of paper that Arn had in his stationery,
She wrote down.
she
all
wrote the same thing
secrets.
on the back of all of them. So it's like whatever gets sent out.
And she wrote it on his letters because she knew that he wouldn't send it out to get checked for codes. I thought that was really smart.
Yeah, I thought it was
because
It
anything
was
that
smart, but it was so annoying when he eventually called her out for being a spy that she wasn't like,
yes,
don't send a fucking thing
Yeah,
on your
that-
letters. Like,
yes.
just say that. Just
for
say
sure.
that.
Yes.
For sure,
That-
that's annoying.
I
Okay,
agree. I
People
agree.
talk about miscommunication.
I was gonna bring that up.
That is to me what is annoying about miscommunication.
Yes.
When like
Like
all
he
you
already
have
knows
to do,
you're a spy. Might as well just say
Yeah.
everything.
all you have
Yes.
to do is say, don't fucking send a letter. Then
Yeah, but he
And
had
then-
already sent it though when she told him. But at least she
no,
could.
they
No,
still
no,
hadn't
no.
talked.
They still hadn't had that conversation.
Really?
He found out about her being
and
a
he
spy.
called her out.
Called her out. They go back to
Oh,
the
yeah,
condo
yeah,
when
yeah.
she decides to like not go tell her father or kill
You're
her father.
you're
Right?
yeah.
They get back to the condo. Now they're being
And
hunted
she
by
takes
Silas.
a nap.
She takes a nap or whatever, and
they
in the
almost get
process of
killed.
that, yeah, because Silas is coming after them.
Yeah.
In the process of that, Silas, Arn comes back, decides to send a letter to Silas. If you do anything to harm Lara, like, actions will be taken. Yada yada. Gets that to send out. But in the process, in that span of time, Lara doesn't know she had gone in afterwards and gotten rid of all the papers.
But she
thinking
said
that
she counted
he
the
didn't send-
letters, and then
That's why I was confused because she.
Bitch, do you not know how to count?
Okay, so
No. There was an extra. So what he had a letter that he had already started, right? He decided, I'm going to write a fresh letter.
yeah,
That's the letter she thinks is that 26 letter.
Oh,
yeah, because when she comes back. So she counts all the letters. She was like, I got to get rid of these before he accidentally sends one out. And I don't want him to know that I revealed all his secrets, even though, we've already made up. Things
Yep.
are really good right now.
Yep.
And she counts all the letters. She's like, okay, good. He didn't send any out. They're right here. I'm just going to get rid of them. She gets rid of them. And then, so this is where I got confused because I thought this was a one-off. And we're getting towards the end of the book. And I'm like, okay, everything's good. Nobody's waging war, so I guess the letter just didn't go out, and this is how it's gonna end. And then with like 10 pages left,
nope. Letter gets fucking sent.
her kingdom comes in and infiltrates, and it's a fucking
her
nightmare.
sister comes in.
Motherfucker.
Oh
The one-
yeah, that
the
was
one
crazy.
that was supposed to be in Lara's position comes
Yeah.
in, and she's like, "What are you doing? I saved you guys." She goes, "What do you mean you saved me? I'm supposed to be here. You took my throne."
Yeah,
So,
She's
but then she ends
actually
up
a
killing
fucking
her. own
bitch.
she
sister.
sucks, huh?
Yeah.
She's very much like Nesta vibes, but
Good
like,
thing she's dead now.
yeah, wait, what, did they kill her?
Yeah, she killed
Yeah.
her. They had a fight, and she snapped her neck.
Oh right, she did snap her neck.
Brutal.
I forgot about
Brutal.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. That was cool.
The one thing I like didn't love about like the enemies to lovers like situation was I feel like there was like overwhelming evidence that like she was wrong.
Yeah.
And she was like, it seems like I'm
Yeah, but
wrong,
no.
but I'm still going
No.
to kill you.
15
and it was
years
like,
of your, or however many, 15 years of being brainwashed though. It's
but it was
so
like
hard.
very abundantly clear that it was like she was wrong.
I don't know though. If you're that brainwashed,
No, but once she
look at
reached that-
religion for
I don't
some
know
people.
when she reached the level of seeing everything, like when the proof is in front of your eyes. I think there's only so
Still.
much.
And she was still like,
There's people out there that
well-
still think the Earth is flat and the proof is right in front of their. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
ignorance is bliss. She probably just wanted to believe that.
It was, yeah. I mean, I get that. And I
Yeah.
tried to tell myself that, but I still was kind of like, in
It
the
was
back of my head
frustrating,
was like,
for sure. It was
was like,
infuriating.
so you see the evidence and you're still like, well, I'm still gonna kill this guy.
I think
How does it?
my
sorry.
favorite scene has
Yeah.
to be right after the sister gets killed.
Yeah.
Right? She kills the sister. Aaron knows everything now, and everything's going down, they're being attacked, and Aaron can't bring himself to kill her.
Yeah.
But he has like his bow and arrow. He's like, run or you're dead. Like, I'm gonna shoot you.
That was cute.
That felt like a movie.
Yeah,
Because he
I agree.
shoots it, goes past her head, and then she turns around, looks at him, and he just mouths run. And I'm like,
Oh, I just got the chilies.
It was so
It
good.
was good.
It was very well
So
done.
a couple months pass. She's been exiled, and then she finds out that Aaron has been taken prisoner.
by her dad.
by her father.
Yeah.
So now book 2, I believe, starts with her going after
It
try to save
starts slow.
Arden.
It starts slow. Book 2 starts slow. The same way the book 1 started slow.
Well, didn't the end of book 1 she showed up
She
to
goes
all of
to
her his buddies.
Arden's sister
Yeah.
Anna or
and
Anna.
she was like, "How dare you show up here?
Yeah.
Like you're the
I love
reason."
Anna.
Me
Anna
too.
is such a
Me too.
badass.
And she was like, "No, I'm gonna help you get him back. Like we got to do
Yeah.
this, basically." And then it
yeah.
ended. That was I really really enjoyed this book. I thought the writing was well done, and I could picture everything perfectly in my head.
I thought it was very good.
I gave it a 4.
I gave
I
it
gave
a 4 as well. I think it could have been a 5 for me if the enemies to lovers was a little better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It would
I
have been a
think so.
5 for me if the characters were a little bit more fleshed out, a little more.
I think this book could
yeah.
have been 50 pages longer.
I think so too.
Yeah, I
and I
agree.
don't say that very often.
Same.
I really
I
don't.
think considering the world building, it needed it.
Yeah,
I think the romance needed it. I think for it
Right,
to be,
because we spent so
yeah.
much time on world building.
I
It
think we needed 50 pages of like
Yep.
extra like
Mhm.
something because I think their romance. We went from enemies to lovers real quick, and I almost felt like I missed pages.
I did get a little confused in a couple parts, like trying to remember the names of certain places.
Again,
which,
for me
yeah,
that I think it was because I listened to it
Yeah.
majorly.
majorly.
I will say my next reel that I'm gonna record actually probably today is my least favorite pet names in like in books, and let me tell you, little cockroach is fucking up there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking up there.
I forgot about
I
that.
didn't like that at all.
I think I think I
like,
skipped over that.
Cockroach doesn't roll off the tongue.
no.
That sounds horrible.
What's it in
I
Spanish? What's cockroach? in Spanish?
Cucaracha.
A cucaracha.
Like maybe if it was like that, you know what I mean? That's
even
like
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
like-
worse.
Not
It's
good.
worse in Spanish. I
No.
don't like it.
would it be like pica cucaracha?
Pequeña cucaracha?
Oh, okay.
That doesn't
No.
sound
That
bad.
doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
No,
when
I
you
don't
added
like
the first part,
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I think any way you twist this, it's not good to call
Is
somebody
there a song?
cockroach.
Is there a song called La
Yes.
Cucaracha? Yeah, right.
Is that based on a cockroach?
Yes.
What do you think it's?
The
They just
cockroach?
call it a cucaracha.
I'm losing my mind right now. I had no idea that was what it meant.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The cockroach. Now he can't walk.
We're learning.
I think if it was like a,
I haven't said this in
I
so
think
long.
I think if it was like some type of other language,
Because he's lost
Cockroach.
his principal foot. That's what it was.
I'm learning.
the cockroach lost his foot.
Oh no. Yeah, but he's a cockroach, so he'll survive.
Yeah.
That's the whole.
I mean, I get why they called her a cockroach.
no, I
I
hate
just
it.
don't think that word is a cute word.
No, it's terrible.
And they used it like it was.
I only saw that maybe twice. I feel like,
No, it
or
was
did
like
I just
probably
skip
5
over it?
times.
What?
The
Cockroach?
I must have mentally
I think
checked
about
out.
four times, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I must have skimmed over it and not thought about it.
My little cockroach.
Zena
She doesn't like it either.
Zena's
I
in
loved
a
the
mood
cat.
today.
There was a cat that Aaron had.
Yeah,
this
I
big,
like the big cat.
huge cat.
You know what? I've been thinking about this a lot because there was a dog in a book that I read the other. Oh, Lucy Score's new book. There's a dog in that book. I need more animals in,
Yeah.
in books.
Dude,
I
Stephen
love
King's
pets.
new fairy tale book. The dog
Sounds
is like
great.
the main character, and it is awesome.
the main character.
It's like one of the main characters. It's pretty wild. You would love it. What else? What else about this book?
I think we're gonna do book 2. Are we? What do you think?
I would read book 2. I already started
I'm already in book 2.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not right now, but
I'm already in it, so I'm down to do it for next month too.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
All right.
book
Because
2.
I and you know what? I was pretty surprised that I liked this book because I've been humming and hawing about reading this book for a very, very
Where
long
did you hear
time.
about this book?
It's been a big book talk or bookstagram book.
yeah, for a couple years now.
For a couple years now, a lot of people, our friends at Novel Bound, they are big like Bridge Kingdom fans.
Are they? I didn't know.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I've
yeah,
seen them post about it a lot.
I literally
like,
knew nothing about it going into it, and I was so pleasant. I just loved how it opened. I was like, this feels good. This feels like an actual fantasy and not the shit that we've been reading.
Like to me, this is like a true like fantasy.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
a real true fantasy. And
I was on an adventure, and that's all I want. Like, just give me an
Oh no, it was
adventure.
published in 2018.
yeah, I
God,
thought it was
I'm
I thought
crazy.
it was longer than that.
I'm dumb. I'm so sorry. I think I saw it a lot in 2020.
That's fair.
He looks like a big fucking dummy in this picture though.
Who, Aaron? Can I see a picture? I couldn't even tell you what I pictured in my head. I don't
This
even
is
know.
the the newer.
Oh, he does look like a big dummy. No, he doesn't. He looks handsome.
This is a newer cover that came out.
For some reason, she was not blonde in my head.
She was
and I'm
blonde.
sure they described it as such, but I just did not picture her.
Hold on, no, the second book, he looks like a big dumb idiot. Hold on. How do I?
If you're
You can't
not
make 'em bigger anymore.
if you're not watching this podcast, go over to our YouTube channel. Just look up Books and Betches. You'll be able to see what we see, which is super exciting. If you're listening and not watching, we try our best to explain everything to you.
Just Google the photo. Just like, how do I zoom in?
Give me a moment.
Oh boy.
Well, I don't like when he looks like a big dumb idiot.
How you can't even see him? Half of him is
His
facing
look
the
at
other
how
way.
long his arm is.
That's not his fault.
Looks like he drags Knuckles on the floor.
It's not his fault.
Erica's upset with the length of this man's arm. That's what you're
He
honing
looks
in
like
on.
a fucking Neanderthal. Like, come on.
I don't know. I don't know where this.
I think he looks fine.
Look at how long his arm is.
He looks fine, Erica.
I think you're insulting an artist, and you should be better than that.
Oh, come on.
No, she just thinks he has a long arm. All right.
But he looks in this one he's not that much taller than her, and in this one he's a
Maybe
fucking
she's
whole
got
head.
heels on. Maybe she's got
a
heels
whole
on in that
head.
That's a
one.
good point, Maria.
That
Can't
is
see
a
her
whole
feet.
head and
She's
whole.
a princess. Maybe she's got heels on.
Can't see her feet.
Relax.
He looks
So
like a
if
big
you're
man.
listening and you read this book, what did you think of it? Did you
a lot
love
of our when I started Bridge Kingdom, there was a lot of people that messaged in.
Oh, great.
So
That's awesome. Tell me
I
what
don't know
you
if
thought.
I don't know
the
if everyone
bridge-
who like follows us listens to us. So,
Tell
like,
me what you thought the bridge looked like. That's what I want to know. We should get it's cool to me how differently we all imagine things in our heads. And I think that's what makes reading exciting and like storytelling exciting. So yeah, write us in. Yeah. Tell us what you thought. If you want to give us your thoughts or opinions or ask us questions or anything at all, you can follow us on Instagram. That's books_n_betches, BETCHES. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff on YouTube. Just look up Books and Betches. Patreon is going again, so check out our Patreon. You could end up on this podcast if you join our Patreon, and it's a ton of fun over there. Lots of outtakes and other things.
No, we post a ton of outtakes over there. So if you are a fan of the podcast, you should.
And you want to see the shit we cut
And
Erica out?
you want to
Yeah.
see like behind the paywall of what we
The things
all
we're too
post.
afraid to post out in
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
Things that just make the episode too long because Erica goes on tangents.
That too. That
That
too.
too. That too.
Yeah, so do all that, and thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to see you next week, and we hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.